Yo Deuterino.
Yo, Debo.
I thought I'd leave it in the acapella version in case someone wanted to sing along. They knew the words, so I figured they were just there listening, singing along with the. I'm sure you were singing along with it, but I don't.
John Legend's manager actually reached out. He wants to do about 6 or 7 minutes over that.
That would be nice to get John in here, but I mean, we'll see if we can. Look at that! We're just gonna bring it all in on the next one. Oh, well, we'll save that for John. We'll save it for John. Deuter, what's good?
Oh man, we had the NFL draft this weekend here in Vegas.
NFL draft in Vegas. I mean, it's right on the top of my list right here, bro. Top of my list.
Perfect.
To ask you, not like necessarily what it was like in Vegas, because I'm sure possible shit show, but who knows? But you can clarify that for me. But also, how did you do in your drafts, and how did the teams do? And I do want to talk about two specific people, if you can enlighten me on this as well. I really want to talk about the number one draft, if we can, if in any standpoint that you can talk to me about the number one draft, and if possible, do you know who the last guy I picked was?
I do.
Okay, good. Okay, wonderful. That's just great.
No notes. Our listeners will have to see that you are looking at me,
right.
And I have nothing up my sleeve, no notes. And because of that, I may get the number one pick's name wrong.
Okay.
But I won't get the last pick's name wrong. The number one pick was, I believe, Javon Walker.
Javon Walker.
Could be getting that wrong.
Okay. All right.
Defensive end from Georgia.
You think this is the number one? This is the number one pick.
This is the first guy taken.
Okay.
And the Jacksonville Jaguars picked him. And, he's a little bit – he's got all the traits you want, all the tools, all the athleticism, the size, the speed, the strength.
Okay.
But he's considered a little bit of a project. So it was interesting that the Jaguars took him because they suck and they are not known for developing talent.
Okay.
So, best of luck to that kid out of Georgia. Hope it works out for you. But you didn't go to the ideal place, my man. Hopefully that contract takes care of you and your family.
Right.
And then whatever happens after that.
No worries.
It is what it is. But the last pick.
Well, but before we get to the last pick, okay, we're talking about this number one guy, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't watch the draft, and, for those who watched the draft and had to bear with me a little bit, did the number one pick, the first thing that happens, like you tune in and they go boom, number one pick, and they're like, that's what no. That's not, okay. So this is because I didn't.
You got to get all the commercials in.
Right.
You got to get the marketing in.
You can't give the number one pick away right from the get. So how long did it take, and what day was the number one pick done on? How did this? I mean, help me. Could you draw a better picture for me on that one, on the number one pick?
Yeah, so they break it up now. When you and I were growing up, they used to just throw it on the weekend on a channel that nobody watched.
Okay.
And me and 5 other people watched it.
Okay. With your clipboards and your paperwork
time.
and you wrote down your notes and you know.
Oh man, I had my notebook. I was filling it. I was like Mel Kiper Jr. And you don't know who that is.
I know that makes total sense to me. Who's that again?
Just
kidding.
Know who Mel Kiper Jr. is, but I'd sit there and predict who I thought was going to go where, and then I'd keep track of who went where. And then I'd see how good I did. But now...
How good did you do?
I mean, I did better than most. But the problem was I always was a homer. And I'd be like, all right, the UCLA guys should go like 1 through 10. And that's never going to happen. But those are the people who were on my TV. So that's who I knew, when I was growing up.
Okay. All right.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was my all-time favorite, not the basketball player. This is why. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the football player, who also went to UCLA. I was like, I don't understand why people aren't drafting this guy. He's obviously going to be good. His name is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I just found out there was 2 Kareem Abdul-Jabbars. I mean,
he went like the third or fourth round of the Dolphins. Turned out to be pretty good. So Mel Kiper Jr. was right on that one.
So back to
present day.
Back to present day. They're hyping you up. They got to get the commercials in to get this number one pick. It's not the thing that happens on Thursday, correct?
It is the thing that happens on Thursday.
Okay, it is the thing that happens on Thursday.
So the first round happens on Thursday in prime time. There's like 32 total picks, I think, give or take one pick. It might be 31, might be 33.
All right.
But that's it. Only the first round happens on Thursday, starting at like 5 p.m. I think the coverage starts at 4:30, and you get the first pick right around 5:30.
And so that's with this guy.
That's when they say, this dude out of Georgia, you're going to Jacksonville, sorry about that.
But you
Best of luck to you and your family. Here's $5 million.
right, but you still want to watch the first round, obviously, because there's obviously a lot in the first round. These are everyone's first picks. This is where the big money is going to be spent.
These are supposed to be the best guys. It doesn't always work out that
Okay.
way, but they're supposed to be the best guys. They
Okay.
were the best guys in college.
Okay.
And now my team, the Rams,
Mm-hmm.
does not have a first round pick. We haven't had a first round pick since I was married. And for those keeping score at home, it's like 6 years
I was
now.
like, some people don't use the Josh calendar.
Yeah.
For that,
Yeah.
so.
This is after, this is what, AM, after marriage. But anyway, the Rams have not had a first pick for quite some time.
Okay.
We just trade them
is this
win Super Bowls like we did this year.
Is this rotational, or is it like the suckiest team gets the first
Suckiest team gets the first pick and so on. But then obviously there's trades are involved,
right.
so it's not always exactly that way. But I like to watch and see who my friends' teams get.
There you go. Because you know you're a nice guy, or because you want to make sure that you don't pick against them, or you want to be able to tell them
I'm
that
hoping
guy.
they get a good guy.
You're a nice person,
but not
Look
too
at you.
good.
Okay, not that nice of a person. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay.
You're like a B level. Don't get like a B level guy, so they'll be excited. But then also I'll be like, all right, sweet, my team's still gonna be better.
All right, so let's get to the last guy. Okay,
right, so the last guy.
So
Saturday.
Okay, this is okay. So not Sunday, because is there a Sunday?
No, I don't
okay,
do a Sunday
okay.
anymore.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's how we.
Thursday first round.
Uh-huh.
Friday second and third round, which are still, if you watch college football, you're still recognizing these names.
Okay.
And then Saturday fourth through seventh round, which if you're someone like me, you maybe recognize 10 to 15% of these names.
Uh-huh.
If you're a hardcore fan, maybe 25%. Most people are like, who?
How's the coverage? How's the coverage on Saturday? ESPN2, or is it still getting prime
we're
time?
Still on ESPN because it's big business now.
Okay.
But yeah, traditionally you're on like ESPN the Ocho at this point. But here's the thing: on Saturday,
okay,
they start to have like random people come up and read the names of who gets drafted. So a lot of times, like it'll just be some dude walking up and you're like, "Who's that guy?" And then it'll say on the screen, "Tom Jones, Rams season ticket holder," and it's just like some dude who paid some money to be there. And he's like, with the 325th pick, the Rams select,
that's
Bill Smith. And but so the highlight of that of these random people were that they had Ed Marinero, which may not sound familiar to you, but he was a former Minnesota Viking. He got drafted by the Minnesota Vikings. He's old now, obviously. Maybe not obviously, but he is old now. And he comes out in this like purple crushed velvet sport coat, looking fly. Nice. And you're just supposed to come out. They hand you the card.
Right.
You grab the card. The Vikings select Tom Jones. Everybody cheers. You walk off. This dude came out like it was the Oscars. He set the card down. He starts to tell the story. I went to Colgate University or wherever he went. And I got drafted in 1965 by the Minnesota Vikings. And they were the second to last team I wanted to pick me. And da-da-da-da-da for 5 more minutes.
Oh, my God.
On 1965.
Oh, my gosh.
And they're like cutting to the crowd. And even the Vikings fans are like,
Bro,
just read the pick.
just read the ticket.
And then you see him like hold his hand up like they're, playing him off.
He's like, what? I got to read the ticket first. Hold on. And
then the producer has to come out or some stagehand comes out and you hear him on mic, just read the card, please. And then they run back off the stage and he's like mad or incredulous about this. It's like, I'm not going to just, and he slams he's joking, but he slams the card down and he pretends to walk off stage.
Uh-huh.
And then he comes back and then gets back into his story.
Oh my gosh.
Like, we can Google it, dude. It's on Wikipedia. We're certain of it. We just want to read the name. And by the time he gets around to reading the name, like this poor kid who's getting drafted, this is the highlight of his life.
Oh my God. Right now is happening.
And you got to wait 10 minutes. And then by the time you hear your name, everyone's pissed because they're like, we're over it, dude. Sorry, Christian Watson or
Yeah.
whoever whoever it ended up being. So that was the highlight. But now here's the fun part. The last dude who got drafted by the 49ers, every year they call this person Mr. Irrelevant and then
Okay.
celebrate him because your
Okay.
last pick.
Okay. Good. All right. Good.
This guy's name is Brock Purdy,
Brock.
which is just a great name.
Right. It is. I mean, who doesn't want to say Brock Purdy?
Who doesn't want to say it? Brock Purdy. On the back of his jersey, it says Purdy.
Purdy.
Like, you better be a good-looking dude.
Nice. Purdy, let's go. Let's go, Purdy. Yeah.
So Purdy.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Purdy.
So he's a quarterback for the 49ers. He's probably not going to play because he was the last pick. But there you go. Shout out Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy. And the last pick was, you know what? That was the reason I was actually getting that, dude, was because, I mean, in a traditional sporting event, if you ain't first,
You're last.
you're last. Ricky Bobby, thank you. Ricky Bobby Inc. And so I wondered how they did celebrate the best worst person, right? And so I'm glad to hear that they do. It's what do they call it again for the
Mr. Irrelevant?
Mr. Irrelevant. That is nice job, NFL. You know,
they give him a jersey that says Mr. Irrelevant,
wow.
and like whatever number the pick was, like 199 or however many is on the jersey.
Wow, wowee. Well,
but here's the thing. Now, Mr. Brock Purdy, you're Mr. Irrelevant.
But
there's hundreds of dudes who didn't get drafted.
Right. Yeah. For
so
sure.
You know, don't feel too bad for yourself. Like, you got picked.
I mean, you're Mr. Irrelevant, but you absolutely made it to the team, and you should be celebrated. I'm glad they don't do nothing. You know, I'm glad they don't just leave that guy as the last pick, because that's what I thought. I mean, granted, I didn't see it, but I'm just thinking, like, the last guy comes on, and I thought the guy doing stand up was for him. Like, I thought they were gonna bring out,
that would have been cool,
right? Like,
but
a roast.
It was just like a random fourth round where nobody's paying attention.
And the guy just comes out and just this is
He
my
just
time.
does 15 minutes of open mic.
Yeah, nice. Well, thank you to you guys in the NFL doing that there. That's what I got to. Yeah. Oh, it feels so good.
Put your fist up in the air, leave it right there.
Come on.
The only thing that we declare, we're on the same team.
Yeah, I had to get that out. Just one more time. Wait.
Put your fist up in the air, leave it right there. The only thing that we declare, we're on the same team.
It could be yours, it could be mine. Harder to define. Yo, brother, what would happen if you need me? I'm mine.
Same team. Right there.
Special shout out to say it for me the way you say it. So you say so Purdy. Go ahead, say how you say it.
Brock Purdy. Shout out Brock Purdy.
How you say Steve's intro?
LA's premier boxing trainer, Steve Gomez.
There it is. LA's premier boxing trainer, Steve Gomez. When
so
you
speaking
say,
of
yeah,
LA's premier boxing trainer,
that's the
Steve
guy.
Gomez,
Yeah.
and Same Team Boxing Academy,
mm-hmm.
you have been in attendance of Same Team Boxing Academy, working with LA's premier boxing trainer, Steve Gomez. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this weekend was episode 3.
Yes. Third round was this last Saturday. And
Right. So I spoke with you after, I don't think we talked about it on air, but I spoke with you after your first round.
Okay.
And it was like the day or two later. And you had soreness in muscles you didn't know existed. You think you grew a second muscle?
I grew. It's a
muscle
third.
that hadn't been there before.
It's a third muscle. I was informed.
Third muscle?
Yeah, I was informed.
So now you've gone a couple times.
Yes.
How is it progressing? How you thought? Are you feeling better? Are you still sore?
Well, first of all, I literally could not feed myself with my right hand. Like, I could not lift the
after round one.
After round one, I was standing up, because I normally eat standing up because I'm just running around, and I had the plate
and stuff.
right. I'm not sitting down. You know what I mean? So I'm normally standing up, and I go to get the fork full, and I pull the fork, and the fork was like, nah.
Is this a 10-pound fork?
I was like, what do you mean? No, I can pick up. I put the fork down and I went to do the motion, and I was like, I can still do
Shadow
it.
feed.
Yeah, and okay, all right. So I grabbed the fork again, and then the arm was like, no, no, you don't got it. And I was like, really? So I used my left. I became ambidextric that day. I was like, I have to, it was that intense. And so then we talked to G for a little bit. He gave me a lesson on that there is a third tricep that you don't even know exists, evidently. Your first one, second one.
Now you know.
Now I know that there's a third tricep. And so, yeah, after that first, round with Steve, yeah, I was really sore, to say the least. After the third time of going, I still feel very new to a sport. I mean, I'm not going into a place fighting people, right? So it's not like
probably good at this point.
Really a good idea not to fight. I saw a fight when I left the second time between two girls that were probably between the ages like 12 and like 16, something like that, right? And I was like, they would both whoop me. They
would whoop anybody listening, right?
I mean,
except for LA's premier boxer,
right?
Steve Gomez, if he happens to be listening.
And I'm up there in the ring before they get in the ring. Okay, so like I'm in the ring doing my stuff, my workout with LA, and then they come in after. Okay,
and you're like, psh.
And I'm in there, as tough as I can. I'm just punching the bag, everything. I'm giving it everything I got, and I'm sure they're like, what a fool. What a clown! Look at this guy.
You're up there thinking you look hard.
I'm up there giving it my best. I refuse. Like, and then they get in there and they're like, "Well, we're gonna fight each other." You know what I mean? You were in there tough as hell with that bag, and
something that ain't hitting back,
but we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and fight each other
for fun. Like, not even a grudge against her. It's just Saturday morning. We want something to do.
Yeah, and so in that, and then even like I said, the third time, I'm getting better at jump rope. I didn't know this was a thing.
I heard you had a little set hop in between your actual jump on the jump rope.
Listen, everybody sings a different song to jump rope.
Right.
Okay, some people sing, I just want to jump today, so I jump today. All right, other people go jump, 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 jump. I don't know, man. All right, okay. Yeah. I'm still figuring out the beat of jump, and evidently, watching the class that came after me this last week, skipping helps because
skipping is
Well, I wanted to go slap this kid who could, just skip in and just jump in.
Have a full conversation with you while he's doing
no problem. Is he just skip in and jump in and just tap, 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 And I'm just, first of all, I'm jumping too hard, right? Because, I'm winded from every jump, right? So I'm jumping 10 feet in the air. And second of all, it's like a hula hoop of the wrists, if you don't use the momentum of the rope, then you find yourself fighting in a bubble that's just not. Anyway.
You just want to move your wrist. You're not swinging your whole arm.
Yeah, it's
not double dutch.
Right.
Just a little wrist action and your feet off the ground, just enough for the rope to pass underneath.
Right. So suffice to say, I'm still learning. I want to say that if I can say that I've developed anything in the 3 weeks that I've been there, it's been more respect for the sport and more respect for a jab and more respect for the sound that the bag makes when the other guy hits it, because I recognize what I can and can't do, and maybe I could do it once, but I can't do it 15 times in a row with that kind of power. It's really crazy. It's like I said, I still feel new in a new sport. But I believe I'm going back here round 4. We're going to a new gym, a little field trip, I guess we're taking. The other guy
road game.
Yeah, road game. The other guy that we are training with is going to get a little bit of action next Saturday. So we're going to check him. We're going to get him a sparring partner at a different gym. So that's where we're going for a little field trip.
Are you going to be in his corner? Are you going to be a corner man, or you're just there to train because the LA's premier boxing trainer is working with him?
Exactly. And so I've been with this guy the last 3 weeks as he's trained, and I guess and speaking with Steve, he had said that he's, we sparred before, and the Cinco de Mayo is coming up.
Yeah.
It's right around the corner, and
Thursday, I believe.
there you go. And he says right around that time, gyms get a little crowded. People tend to remember, and so he says it's a good time to go to a gym because people will want to spar, and it's time. He hasn't had a spar in a while, so it's time for him to
Need
have
live
one.
reps.
You need So, but I'm interested to see that. I mean, I've seen this guy punch. It is powerful.
Yeah.
It's like like when I punch, I don't generate that much energy, and I know I'm telling myself this, but I'm assuming that'll come over time, right? Over time, with enough practice, maybe I can hit powerfully. With maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's a natural thing. Maybe it's like a swing.
You'll be able to hit powerfully. You have the right build for it. You have what I would call an athletic background with your dance background. So you'll get the footwork, you'll get the weight movement, you'll have your balance. You'll get to a point where you can punch powerfully.
Yeah.
But you may be Brock Purdy. You may not be punching powerfully enough to be the number one pick.
Yeah.
But you'll get to the point where you know what you're doing.
The number one thing I know that I'm lacking right now when I'm up there and I'm doing the thing is aggression. There is this make me mad aggression that you want in life, right? But obviously that's not there because nobody is there making you, angry at the moment. You can't draw on an emotion to try to, push through this. And so I'm having sometimes an issue of finding that right aggression because I'm still trying to learn and trying to allow muscle memory to take place, and I'm trying to allow coaching to take place to where I'm not thinking, right? So the coach is just trying to listen, right? But I'm hoping soon, when I get comfortable, I'll be able to use aggression. And I keep using that word, but I'm going to find a different word for it in boxing because I don't believe it to be aggression. I mean, of course, I could be wrong, that a fight is a fight, right? But Steve's been talking to me using a word like putting in work. And saying that there's not a fight, but you still got to go hit another guy in the face, and he's gonna hit you in the face, and you guys are gonna keep doing that for a while, and that's a different kind of job. So you're putting in work out there, and so evidently this last night's sparring match ended up turning into a fight, and so he said he had to put in a lot of work. So I'm interested to see how that comes. I think I was talking to G the other day and saying that I'm really not looking forward to my first punch in the face. Like I'm not. He kind of gave me the dad shoulder. Like, well, it's gonna happen one day. That day is a coming. But I
think there's two ways to look at it.
Yeah. Okay.
One is that day's coming.
Sure is.
One way or another.
Sure is.
And you either have it inside of a gym in a controlled environment or you have it out on the street somewhere.
Right.
And it'd probably be better inside of a gym in a controlled environment.
I've had the on street matter. Right? And so that's just a total different thing. I'm not looking for a trained boxer who has been training the way I've been training to take that training and flip it and catch me square where I don't want to get caught. Because if I do that, and I'm recognizing that because I'm on this side, right? If I was to catch somebody really good with a really good punch, that would hurt. Like it would sting. At minimum, it would sting, but at best, it would daze somebody for a second. And if you got a second one in a good enough time, that could be the whole round. That could be it right there, 2 punches.
Right.
And I'm sure that's everybody's glory moment. The moment they get boxing, they're like, if I could get 2 punches in, the whole thing would be over. Well, as I saw 2 girls fight before I left, getting 2 punches in is a little harder to do when the other person doesn't want to get hit and is hitting you. And so it becomes a much more difficult task. But again, I really feel like I'm way ahead of myself here. We're putting things way out in front of.
Oh, you put the cart and you haven't even bought the horse.
Yeah, but it comes with air conditioning.
Yeah. Well, I think I've told this on air before, but my dad was a boxer in the Navy, same as LA's premier boxing trainer Steve Gomez, both Gold Gloves champs, and my dad wanted me to be a boxer. He had it fashioned in his mind that I was going to be the next Mike Tyson, because as you know, I was a little kid. I wasn't tall yet.
I didn't
Hadn't
see
grown up
I
yet.
didn't see you as Mike very often when we played. I didn't see the Mike.
I don't think
in you.
anybody saw me as Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Other than in my dad's
There
head.
are family
he was gonna
members.
groom.
Yeah, there are family members I know in your family who I saw as
Yes,
Mike.
they're
With
much better at
They're
this
much
than
better
I am
than
also.
you are, right? But I didn't
But
see
the
you
point
as
of the
that-
story is not that I was supposed to be Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Because as you and I well know, I could have been training from then till now, and that wasn't going to be the case. But in that training, at some point, by the other family members you referenced, I got hit in the face.
Uh-huh.
I got to a point
Right.
where they felt comfortable.
Right.
Let's spar a little bit and see how he reacts. Because to this point, you're just hitting a bag or hitting air,
There you go.
and everybody feels tough doing that.
Everybody, yeah, it's real tough.
And now
real
you
tough.
gotta see what it's like when someone else is actually there. And let me tell you, the one time
The only
I got punched in
time.
the face. Let's not say first like there's others. The one time I got punched in the face, I decided this is not the sport for me.
Yeah.
In baseball, there's very low likelihood I'm going to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
I think I'll choose that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's I understand where you're at, and I understand that transition, and now you know how I felt about that transition. So when you get there, we'll revisit this conversation.
Well, I will definitely keep you guys up, today what's going on. I plan we have one more, till we get to 4 rounds, and then I plan to stick with it. It's a great workout. It's keeping me motivated to get up on Saturday mornings, and until we get to summer, I can't think of a better way to do it. So, glad that I shot out Steve there. So what do we have today? 3 questions today?
We got 3 questions.
Three questions today. Where we have found 3 questions that we feel need an answer. And, we can all squirm in our pants and, not know what to say or do, but we're going to get these questions answered and get them answered right here. So this is 3 questions. And Duder, do you want to start? Or do you want me to start? What do you want to do?
I'm going to start because I have a question that's been burning a hole in my notes here.
All right.
I guess it was a couple weeks ago now, went to Angelo's with some of our friends. And when you did that, I had it in my head that I wanted to get a cheeseburger because that's what I would have got at Angelo's.
Mhm.
And so
As
my
you do.
partner and I go out and we go to this place that's supposed to have really good burgers. And I have my heart set on it. And the server comes over and he starts talking up the Philly cheesesteak.
Ooh.
That's what my stomach did. I was
Right,
like,
yeah.
oh man, Philly cheesesteak. You've had a burger. How many burgers can you have? Just get the Philly.
Everybody's got a burger. This guy's got a burger.
So I got the Philly.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Let me tell you,
As-
it was good. It was good.
Okay. All right.
Shout out Frank's Uptown. Your Philly cheesesteak. It's an A minus, bro. Not
Hey.
the server made it sound like an A plus. It's an A minus. You can't go wrong. Best I've had in Vegas.
Can't go wrong. It's not bad.
My question to you is:
There it is.
have you ever been talked out of your order? And then what was the result? I was a little disappointed. No, the server didn't talk me out of my. I didn't say like I want a cheeseburger. He's like, don't get the cheeseburger, get the Philly. He was just hyped on the Philly, and so I was like, all right, well, he's hyped on the Philly. Let me go with that. So, have you had a similar situation where you had an order in mind? Server comes over, whether it's the special or they're just talking about something, and you change your order.
Yesterday, today, not so much, because today, when the server comes over and they're like, these are our specials, I'm like, where's the vegan menu? And I'm just, I'm never excited about it.
Can I get
I
a
don't.
salad?
So it's harder to talk me out, and then they're sometimes excited to show me the vegan menu, and then to get talked out of it and into those contexts, Not usually. But, I will say, though, I usually sit next to a person, though, who constantly, her first question out of her mouth is, what are you getting?
Mhm.
And I feel there's a lot of pressure on this end of the ordering to have an answer for them before they make their decision. I
And
find
then not change it
well, I mean,
because you already told them that's what you're getting.
this is true.
And now they're like, all right, well, I'm basing my order off of what you're getting.
Because what so I don't ever feel full in charge of the ordering process as it is at a whole. I'm rushed in one sense, right? Where I just feel like if I don't have something right away early on, I'm in bad standings.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're going to get a question, you're not going to have an answer.
Can't say I don't know.
It's what is
I
it?
gotta look at the menu. This is our first time here. I gotta look at the menu. No, it doesn't fly.
Bean and cheese burrito. What? How'd you know so quick?
Gotta be ready. I looked at Yelp on the way here.
I knew there was going to be a test, and it was timed, every time. But no, I know. So okay, hopefully, I got your answer on that one, Duder. I got an answer for you. Something that I don't think that you're going to get the chance to do in the near future. However, I've been wrong about this because you did tell me the time that you explained nutrients to children. And so you may have to explain things to kids at some point in life. But anywho, I want to get the question, Duder, could be simple or it could be complex, and it really just really depends on how you want to answer it. But as to you would explain, I would say someone under the age of 12. Okay, all right,
Nightmare already.
all right, here we go. All right, where do babies come from? Okay.
Oh,
if you
slam
if
dunk,
you
I got this.
right. Okay, but listen. As to someone under the age of 12, and
that's what makes it easier for me.
right, and there may be follow-up questions, okay, into this category, okay, that may count as my 2 and 3, and I'll take them for that. But I'll just start off with the bang bang first punch. Where do babies come from?
Little under 12 child. Babies come from a stork. Your parents, mom and dad, or mom and mom, or dad and dad, get together and they fill out a letter saying all the perfect traits they want in their little baby, and then they mail it off to the stork. The same way, you may fill out your Christmas list for Santa of what you want, and then if you're really good, you may get some of them. And if your parents are really good, they may get some of the traits they filled out on their letter to the stork. How much therapy is this kid gonna have to get now?
I mean, it's gonna take a little bit. Okay, so then all right, so that was okay. I'm gonna cross that. That was my first question. Answered, by the way. Okay.
Yeah.
I want that noted. Answered. So then, my next follow-up question, and I'll take this as my next question. When the kid then looks at you, says these words, that sounds like bullshit, right? Okay, and you're like, wow, you're not even allowed to cuss, but you just said bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, great. Because I heard that it was from sex.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Piece of cake. I got this too. Keep going.
No. We're gonna cut it there. What would be then? The question then is I heard it was from sketch. It's kind of like a question statement, right? Like they don't really.
Ready. That's good.
Okay. Is that true? Is that what it is? And if so, what is this sex thing?
Yeah. If you know so much, what are you asking me for, little brat?
Damn, right there too. What are you asking me for?
I'll ask me and then correct my answer. And I'll learn a thing or two today on this little child. All right, let's talk about this. What do you think sex is?
Oh, wait. First of all, wait. Why you correct him? I just told you what it was a second ago, and now you obviously came to me.
Don't correct me. Don't ask
exactly,
me and then correct my answer.
Yeah.
Little under 12 child.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm in the category of gonna have to have a conversation. That's the category I'm in.
I mean, look, fortunately,
Yeah.
I understand you're getting to that point.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Fortunately for me, I have positioned my life as such
Right.
that if any under 12 child walks up to me, I don't have to answer
Yeah.
a damn thing. And
Legally.
if they ask me about sex, I'm running the other
Yeah.
direction.
Legally, you
because
should just not answer any questions.
legally,
Yeah.
this is not a conversation I want to have.
In Florida, you can't
I
even.
don't look like Matt Gates.
Yeah.
I don't think people confuse me as him. I don't want to be talking about sex with minors.
Yeah. No. I understand. And, but it's something I got to do. It's a conversation.
And I don't believe you can do it the way our fathers did.
What did you get? Because I guarantee you mine was an eye opener.
Mine was graphic and an eye opener.
Okay.
I got handed a magazine that you have to be 18 years or older to buy.
There you go. Probably not at 18.
No, I don't want to. I don't know what statute of limitations is on this, but I was not 18. I was significantly younger,
right?
And I got handed this magazine and told, figure it out.
Oh, fair enough.
All your answers are here.
Wow, look at that! Like the Bible. Did you start in the Old Testament, or did you just go right?
Started in the Old Testament,
or did you go right to the New Testament, and Newer Testament? Like you were just
no. I started with the Old Testament.
Okay,
you got to read the articles,
right? Of course. That's why it's
and then you move on to the New Centerfold Testament.
Yeah, the New Centerfold Testament. Very nice. I was handed. You know what I was handed was our conversation was brief. It was in the garage at the time. I think where the pool table was.
Mine too. No pool table, just garage.
There you go. And I think there was other people around. Yeah, and so
tough.
Yeah.
Now, did you bring it up?
I don't remember that I did or didn't.
Okay.
I think sex might have been a conversation in the air, and maybe I walked through, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, he was like, "Do you know about sex?" And I was like, "What?" Because I was just automatically, what?
Am I allowed to say this?
What are we talking about? And then it was, I think my dad said, "Do I need to get you a hooker or something to make it make sense to you?" And we could get one of those real quick, and then we could make it, make the whole thing make sense. And I was like, "What?"
I know the hotels where they hang out.
And I think that was all the conversation. I think that was I think I left the room, and I don't think we ever talked about sex again, ever. I think that was it. I think that was the whole talk.
Do you think those conversations played a part in how you and I took different paths the next 5 years after those conversations?
No.
Okay.
No, because I think that everything I did sexually, right, from that day forward, had more to do with my peer group and my access and my 2 or 3 dudes that knew how to talk well in the group that I was in, than it had to do with the conversation my father had with me about sex. And again, so I believe that it had more to do with my peer group. Like I learned more from the peer group. It maybe if he had sat me down and had like a graphic like video and was like, "Yo, this is what it is," I probably would be more into sex than I am today. I don't know if that is possible.
Like an IKEA instruction manual, insert
like the Kama Sutra, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would, but I think that most validation in life comes from your peers, anyways. Especially when we're talking sexually and we're talking, and so my dad's not going to be able to validate what I believe about sex for the most part. The pointers that he could give me are really, really shitty tackle lure for the game. I mean, he could be like, try this, but you're just trying to get your son laid at that point. I mean, come on. What are you doing?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So
both of our dads were better at giving advice on how to get to the moment.
Absolutely.
Than what to do in the moment.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's most advice, though.
Right.
I think most advice, especially when you give it to someone younger, is always, this is how you get to the big show. Now, what you do when you get there, you better be somebody, because, I've never been to the show. But, this I can tell you, to get there, I've seen other people do it. And I know what it's like. But anywho, there you go. I'll leave that as my 1 and 2. So that leaves me with 1 left on the board on where do babies come from. It's going to be a long conversation, Uncle Dude. Okay? Just so you know. Leaves it up your question, Duder.
Can you still go? Do you still have the? This is not my question.
I know.
Do you still have the birds and the bees conversation?
Yeah, so that's the kiddie pool that I'm in thought process, right? I've definitely, in young age, and you go to the doctor with kids, and I have 3 kids that are here, and we have showers, and there's nudity in my home. Okay, so
It's comfortable.
we have to talk
It's not
about
shamed.
right, you're not shamed. So you have to talk about pee-pees and butt butts and anatomy and things like that. So there's a comfortable bit of anatomy conversation in the house. It's not a problem, right? But the birds and the bees portion of it is coming up to now talk about anatomy and what about that anatomy and consequences of that anatomy, right? Because to put something in context, and I don't believe that most people will believe this, but it's a very true story. I'm like a Boy Scout at heart. I prepare for most things. I'm really, really always prepared. And not too long ago, somebody was at the house, and they were like, they asked my wife, and they were like, "Hey, do you happen to have a pad?" And they were like, "You should ask Dwayne." And they're like, "What? Like, that's strange." They were like, "Yeah, but he's really prepared. Like,
He's got it.
Trust me." And sure enough, they didn't ask me, but she went to my stash, right? And I'm like, yeah. Of course, there's right there. Why? Because these things happen, okay? Like, and toothpaste, toothbrushes, socks. People forget things in life, and when you need it, it's too late. It's way too late to run and get it.
You already need it.
You already need it. That's why I have these things. So, the body and the function and what it is, and then the new functions of the body. These things are real things that have to happen and have to be lived with in life. Now, trying to fight those things, I just don't feel makes any sense. Because whether we live 2,000 years ago or 2,000 years from now, these functions are going to need to happen. And so let's go ahead and get, I don't want to use the word comfortable, but to a position of conversation, right? Comfortable is not where anybody wants to be about any of this stuff, right? You want to be slightly uncomfortable. You want it to be something you don't talk about very often, which is fine. But, sometimes things need to be said.
You want to be able to have a conversation.
Able, right, exactly. And
you want the tools in your tool belt.
But nobody wants to have the conversations, and nobody... it's uncomfortable for a reason, and that's okay. It's because you don't, because they're comfortable. That's fine. I'm gonna just leave it at that. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. So
everybody can understand that.
That's right. So, anywho,
all right. My second question.
Yeah.
Do you have a band or musical artist that you like that Jenny absolutely does not?
Oh wow. That's a good question.
And while you're thinking,
okay,
I will tell you that my favorite living band, second favorite band of all time, is on the short list of my partner's least favorite music anything.
Okay, so here's like a little bit of backstory, drop story, right? So me and her met dancing, right, to music, right. And
music. Do you dance not to music? I guess you probably do.
You could. I see the show where 2 girls got on stage and shook their ass and said "World Peace" for
acapella
3 minutes, acapella. Okay, and then got off stage. What I didn't like about the performance of the World Peace was what the fuck was that? What I love about
if that didn't bring about world peace, I'm convinced not much can.
Well, see, this is what I thought. 2 girls on the stage shaking their ass saying world peace. But what I love about the performance is that at least 15 years, if not more later, I'm still talking about 2 girls on stage shaking their ass, and I use the word world peace only because that's all they said the entire time they were on stage. And so kudos to them for,
shout out the world peace.
Shout out world peace ass shakers, girl. It was anyways. Yes, you can dance to no music. We fell in love listening to music in the car. Like we would go on break in between a show and listen to music, and then after the show we'd go to the car and listen to music. Our tastes are uniquely aligned when it comes to music. So we just don't find ourselves in that path. However, I remember I was at a show, and there was a lady in the audience, and she came to me and she was like, "Wow, you and your wife listen to the same music. That is so cool. I can almost see your tear. Like me and my husband can't dance together, right? Because we just listen to two different genres, right? He doesn't listen to the slow jams, and I don't listen to the old school, and so we just can't mesh on music. And
He's trying to mosh, and she's trying to do-wop.
Just what it is, right? And that's what it is with music. So I tend to mesh with everything. I will say though, the first time she heard me sing Tenacious D, "Fuck Her Gently," it was great song. Great. I mean, just amazing. What a
really fun karaoke song.
If you have never been to karaoke and you need a song, you want it to be a crowd pleaser, Tenacious D, "Fuck Her Gently."
If you've never done karaoke, probably start with that song. Because even if you're bad, the crowd's gonna love it.
Okay, so have you ever seen it performed at a karaoke bar?
Yes, I have.
Okay, good. Because I'll be honest,
not that I go to karaoke a lot.
Not that it's a big thing.
But the height of my karaoke going was like within a year or two of that song being released.
Oh wow! So that's big. That's big time. That's
pretty popular.
That's prime time. That's prime time.
Yeah.
I have cleared at least 3 rooms in my career with that song, where that was not intended for the last song of the night, but it was the last song of the light, and it wasn't even like it was like the first line, of leading to that song. And people,
you don't always have to fuck her home.
You just hear the chairs pull out, and just that did it. Okay, it's late night. So, anyways, but nobody likes
2 o'clock already.
Yeah, just clears a room. You gotta like it. Okay, I'm gonna get to my final questions. I feel like I have more, but I do. But I'm. I got to give this context a little bit, okay?
All right.
If you were Coffee Cup Lady, and just to clear her name out there, she's somebody who pays it forward. If you're Coffee Cup Lady, you're somebody that says thank you, and I want to pay it forward. I want to make sure that the world's going to be a better place, and I'm going to leave it in a better place because that's a real person. That superhero exists. She's out there, Coffee Cup Lady. All right. If you were Coffee Cup Lady, what would you say? Okay. All right. So now you got this person who always like to pay for it. I'll make it real quick. Okay. I'm in line, and then I say, "Ma'am, your gas cap is off.
Gas cap's open."
And she's like, "Oh, thank you." And I can't remember this day if she got out and put it back in or not. I don't remember. But she obviously did eventually, right? But she paid for my coffee in line. It was so nice of her. She was like, "Thank you." But it was at the time of COVID, and no one was talking to each other. It was very what's the word? Scary time. Okay. And so for me to do that and for her to pay it back for her, we appreciate Coffee Cup Lady and the people that do that pay it forward. So anyways, if you were Coffee Cup Lady, someone who's nice enough to pay it forward, okay? What would you say to Ron DeSantis? What would you say if you're a nice person on the inside and you want to pay it forward? You always want to leave people with a cup half full instead of a cup half empty, right? And you see Ron on the street, okay? And you go, hey, and
this is the context I need. Why am I?
Why are you talking to Ron? Why?
Ron?
Why would you? Okay, because Ron's coffee just spilled, okay? And you're a gas cap lady, all right? You got 2 cups, right in your hand, as gas cap lady would, okay?
Yeah.
Would you have 2 cups of coffee and you're passing Ron, you just see him and he spilled his cup of coffee? What would coffee lady say?
All right. Well, I got to assume if I'm seeing Ron, I'm probably in Florida.
No, he traveled. He traveled. I know.
All right.
Yeah, it's all still set back here in the Brea.
We're in Yorba Linda, Brea.
Somewhere up there. And so you've seen Ron. he has, spilled his coffee. You've got to. We call her gas cap lady. You're gas cap lady. Do you pay it forward?
I would pay it forward. I would give him the cup of coffee, assuming I have two. I'm guessing one is.
I'm
I'm guessing I could part with one for the purposes of this conversation.
Okay.
So I would, even if I saw anybody spill their coffee, even Ron DeSantis, I had to swallow the vomit before I said that, I would hand him my spare cup of coffee. I don't know what I would say. This is why, if I was in Florida, I would simply say, I didn't vote for you.
Right.
Here's your coffee. But if I'm in Brea, there's no point in saying I didn't vote for you.
No.
That's pretty clear. But I would want to say something.
Yeah.
I may just say, new math is gay.
Yeah. And hand him
the cup of coffee.
Right. Yeah.
And now I wouldn't say that because
you
I'm
really
disparaging
right,
new math.
exactly.
I have nothing against new math.
Of course.
Calling something gay is not a disparagement.
No.
In my mind or in your mind.
Right.
But in his mind.
So then your hope. Right. I had thought that maybe with the two cups, you might walk over to him and say, that
was good, ain't it? And keep walking.
Well, I feel like handing you one.
That would be good.
Just one. Just see
the feelings don't matter.
I feel like handing you one, which is less than two. Here you are, and then just like
that'd be solid.
Right. You know what I mean? You count it. You're right. Yeah.
Just less than two.
I feel like handing you one, which is less than two. Good day, and let them have the cup half full, right? Let them have as she would. It would be the cup half full, and but
that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, we know that from her. Yeah. Dude, did you have one last question before we go to the postings for today?
I had one, but honestly, the DeSantis question threw me off, and I don't know.
Yeah.
What the third one was? I was going by memory, but that was such a good one.
Yeah, DeSantis normally does that. He does what the problem is you're trying to feel something and then you're trying to count something at the same time, and you can't do that. So
I struggle to feel and count anyway. Separately. I struggle to feel individually. I struggle to count individually.
Exactly.
Put them together.
There we go.
I can understand why he wants to remove that from the curriculum because it's hard to do. But yeah, no, I don't have a third question as DeSantis ruined it like he ruins most things.
All right, there he goes. Well, I tell you what, brother, we will slide over to the job listings right over here for a second in the wanted ads of the newspaper that we don't have because no one gets a newspaper anymore. So, Duder, tell us again on there was the name of this one.
All right, this is called Does This Work For You?
Does This Work For You? Thank you.
And the premise of Does This Work For You is I'm going to read you a job posting. And you're going to tell me if this works for you. Are you applying to this job? Or are you running the other direction?
All right. How many postings do we have today? Just one?
I have two queued up, but let's do the first one and we'll go from there.
All right.
So this is for a front office administrator, office manager type for a chiropractic office.
Mm-hmm.
And so it says small chiropractic office is looking for office manager, personal assistant. Start immediately! ! Office is looking for 1 to 2 competent people for office duties. And so far, so good. Here's the requirements.
All right.
Common sense.
All right.
Knowledge of office etiquette and computer skills required. Required is all caps. Computer skills.
Wait, hold on. When they say, I just want to make sure that we read the same way we talk, right? So when everything's all caps, does that mean they're yelling that at you?
It's definitely emphasized.
Well,
Computer skills are required.
I mean, like,
probably what it would sound
if you were like a dude on stage, right? Okay, and you were standing there, would it be your face that you would change or the tone of your voice?
I would be the tone of my voice.
Okay, so
if I was doing a monologue,
right,
I would go louder and I would enunciate more.
Okay. All right. So when they're talking about computer skills, we will not teach. It might have been another way to.
It would be.
Okay.
And we may get there.
Okay. All right.
Computer skills are required.
Required.
computer skills are where there's more than just computer skills being required. Computer skills are essential,
Wow.
and again, also all caps. Do not apply if you cannot turn on a computer. I mean, can we just take a break there for a second?
I mean, were these
Assuming,
things?
assuming that this job posting, as you said, we're no longer getting newspapers. These aren't in the one ads. You're probably seeing this on a computer.
I mean, but what if your nephew is like reading this to you off of his phone, and like you're in the room, you're the
Like, oh, fuck, I'm out.
yeah, right, and he's like, uncle, computer is required, and I'm like, okay, I can do. He was like, no, it's a must. Oh no, I get it. No, it says here it's also a must. But it's an absolute essential. I get it, bro. Just read me the thing. Can you turn a computer on? Well, do I got to go turn it on to get the? What do I got to do? But I don't know. I mean, that guy, he hadn't turned a computer on yet. I mean, he's
He hasn't
yelling
yet, so he can't apply.
Yeah.
Don't apply if you cannot turn on a computer. Don't apply if you have problems clicking with a mouse. Now,
I mean, maybe during COVID, your finger got hurt and from doing too much zooming, and
is arthritis a symptom of long COVID? Maybe we need to look this up.
they just want to make sure. That's why. They're crossing their T's. They're making sure that you're right for the job.
Have problems clicking a mouse or don't know how to work Chrome.
And you could have just led with that one.
And just look, if they don't know how to work Chrome,
They don't know how to turn a computer.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Also, the inverse is true. If they don't know how to turn a computer on, you can just skip Chrome altogether.
Could have just led.
No public transportation. So, shit out of luck there. Must, all caps, have own car.
Well, I mean, okay. Now
here's my question. Can I still have my own car
right.
and take public transportation?
That's what I want
The
to be
answer is no, because they already answered that. No public transportation.
What does that mean? Like you're hating on every carpool ever existed? Like you're like we're gonna carpool. No, you need your own car.
No.
Sorry, buddy.
You not only need your own car, you have
Yeah.
to use it, which
Okay.
they didn't specify, but
I got to turn a computer on so far, go on Chrome, and have my own car. So far, I'm
and
okay.
have your own car
So
and
far.
not take public transportation.
All right.
We're barely at the beginning. You will be working with patients on scheduling, payments, and general questions, help via phone, email, text, and face-to-face. All right, so you're good with all that so far.
Okay. You're gonna help people.
You're gonna help people. Therefore, no strong odors. It's a workplace. It's common areas. That's all right.
But
who determines what's a strong?
what
odor?
are we talking about? Are we talking about my lunch? Are we talking about my BO? What are we talking about? My perfume? Like which one are we talking about?
Well, no strong odors, must be clean and well groomed.
I mean, just okay. I feel like this
Now
is
again,
oddly.
I have questions on who determines what is well groomed.
I have questions like why are we like
Who gives a fuck about your appearance if you can do the job? Is my point.
Right.
But again, I'm not hiring
Okay.
for a small chiropractic office who needs 1 to 2 competent people
or
who
whether
don't smell apparently.
and what their grooming techniques are. Okay. All right.
No extremely long nails.
Chiropractor.
Huge earrings. Well, no, because you're not the actual chiropractor. You're just, working Chrome and driving yourself to work. You're not cracking backs with your extremely long nails. What if I need my extremely long nails to click the mouse?
Because that's
Because I have long COVID
right.
and I can't bend my finger that long. No extremely long nails, huge earrings, really high hair weaves. Again, who's determining what is high or what is really
What do you
high?
mean by a high hair weave? Like
Really high hair weaves. It's right here.
is baldness accepted or it's not accepted? Like hair, no hair? Oh, no, hair exactly like this hair. Okay. All right.
As long as it's well groomed.
Or
and
not or the
really
weave's not too
hair.
high. Or the weave's not too high.
If it's well groomed and the weave's not too high, I think you'll be all right, assuming you don't have long nails or a strong odor. No unusual outfits. So I mean, can we just say workplace casual or provide? If you don't like my outfit, provide me with workplace attire.
I just want to state that this sounds like someone that's been in a bad relationship already. That's being fairly specific about their next relationship. Okay, like I've seen
But
this.
here's the other thing:
I've
I see
seen,
these on Tinder all the time, and it's a
Right.
red flag. Like,
Right.
look, I understand what you're not looking for. Tell
Yeah.
me what you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't want this. I've had that. I don't want this. I've had that. I don't want this. I've had that. But you're right. You're not telling me what you're really looking for. You're just telling me about all the bad experiences you've had in the past. Go ahead and tell me about this bad experience again.
I get in trouble with this with my partner all the time when we get in an argument, because she'll be like, "Tell me what you want," and then I'll say, "I don't," and she's like, "No, no, 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 no. Don't tell me what you don't want.
Tell what
Tell
you
me
want.
what you want." And I end up like writing a review for a small chiropractic job over there. Like, no, I don't want long nails. No unusual outfits, burping or chomping.
See, the last guy in here burped and chomped on his, snacks in the break room with his high weave, and he was evidently an issue. So he had
It makes me feel like the strong odor might be food.
might be
right?
food,
Chomping.
right? Chomping, yeah.
Right. So also now, and I was hoping G would be on here, but to you can also speak to this.
Thank
Doesn't
you.
have to be G.
I appreciate it.
Does this sound vaguely racial?
I see where you're going with the fairly possible racial, and it's walking a fine line. That's what it's doing
All right.
to me. It's walking a very, very fine line.
I think they know what they're doing.
I think exactly they know what they're doing. I
Okay.
think that's the whole point of racist things at times that can be done like that. But I think they're walking a very, very tightrope. But I'm gonna just go ahead and call it flat out. You're looking for not the last person you hired, more than anything else, right? And
If you're
beyond,
the last person they hired, you're probably not seeing this because you probably don't know how to turn on a computer. Anyway. You're not even getting butthurt about it. You're just like, oh,
you see, dude, like in my life,
guess that worked out fine.
True story. I had a small business at one point, and I hired someone right off the street. I mean, no interview, no process. I mean, I was driving my car. This person was like, I'm looking for a job. And in that moment, I was going to go to like a hiring website.
I'm looking for an employee.
I am looking for an employee right now. You don't just say that to people on the street. But you know what? I took a chance once in my life. Right. Just take a chance once you like. Right.
Excuse me, do you know how to turn on a computer? Hi.
They did not know how to turn on a computer. Yeah. Oh, right.
How high was their weed?
It was low. It was low. So I was like, it's fine. So it's fine.
So you're like, all right, I can hire this person.
Yeah. But I fought through computer literacy with someone for 2 months. Okay. Right. Yeah. And out of just pure wanting, and I needed an employee, but I wanted to help this person could gain
1 to 2 competent employees.
But the next advertising ad that I hated my last choices because I had to work harder than I anticipated.
Must not be looking for work off the street.
Might take longer in the interview process than the next person, right? And I did. So the next time I did an interview process, right? But I didn't hate the next employee because of my last employee on the not the application. What is it? The job listing, right?
Right.
I didn't all of a sudden just be like, you can't be the last guy, and just or you can't be anything that isn't
right.
how do you?
It doesn't look like.
It
me.
doesn't look like
or smell like.
Smell
me.
like. Be like me. Like I want you to be. But then I also worked for Disney, where they said no, we can because we're casting you. We're casting you into a role of what is this? A show. We are a show.
Right. That's acting. That is
right.
You need to look like the role.
The role. And it was and they didn't go that far in the 90s, but even in the earlier days they actually did. But they don't go for the look of the role, but we are going to say that we want you to look and act a certain kind of way, just like you say, for the role, right? For the show, right? Be in the show. And two different kinds of context, though, sometimes for a job versus someone who wants to be in show. And
I mean, to that point, I dated a Cinderella, and when she wasn't at work, still looked like if you said she works at Disneyland, you'd be like, Cinderella? Yeah.
I get it. Oh, man. Well, dude.
So this chiropractic office goes on. There's more.
Oh,
Wait,
you got to be kidding me.
No burping or chomping. You will also be assisting the providers with medical referrals, faxing, scanning, sending out files, PDFs, filing and organizing. Have adequate knowledge of the English language. Now, again, this is all written in English, so I got to assume if you've turned on your computer to see the ad and you've read this far,
still have your nephew reading it to you.
Probably have adequate knowledge of the English language.
Yeah,
as well as basic typing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you can basic type, you can probably turn on a computer. Be able to prioritize and finish one thing before going on to another. Have some knowledge of medical insurance. Be able to read something and then apply it. Work independently and quickly. Be consistent in work. Have awareness. This is my favorite part. Have awareness that this is a job and you will be relied upon to do your work in order for the office to run well.
I feel like he just fired his ex-wife, and that's who he's wanting to replace, because the last line where he was like, "This is the job, okay, and you're required to do it in order for the job, for the business to work and everything, and she didn't do that." And so I need you to do that, next person. This would be, you know what? I really feel like we should take that whole thing and flip it and throw it on Tinder and see how it does, and see if we could get someone for the job. Because if you just take this all and put it to love,
right?
I think it's someone being very specific in love of what they just.
Can I start with looking for 1 to 2 competent people for dates?
There you go. That doesn't chomp, and smells nice.
Smells nice.
It doesn't have a weave.
Must have own car.
Yeah, see? I feel like he really wants to date somebody. I don't know that this is a job. The job that...
In multiple areas, they referenced, knowledge of the English language and typing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel as an English major in college, it is my duty to point out that this is very poorly formatted grammatically, and it does not show competent understanding of the English language, an adequate knowledge of the English language as they are looking for. There are several ellipses where there should either be commas or using contextual evidence, just periods.
Do you ever use ellipses in like a normal day? I feel like you had a normal day sentence where you were like walking with someone and you were like ellipses and then they came out, or no?
The only time I use ellipses is this sentence. Something, comma, or ... question mark. Is it. Whatever it is. You say, you want to go to Angelo's? I would say, or I will tell you, you want to go to Angelo's or ellipses, question mark. That is the only format that I use ellipses in.
Yeah. And
I believe it to be the only one you should use ellipses in.
Well, now, sir, you are using the should word, and we know how that goes with you English majors.
You do.
And those sort of things.
But they have, just by quick count, because some of the sentences run over to the next line,
mm-hmm.
but the ones that don't, they just start the next sentence on the next line. Like there's not,
as if you're,
this is not in a paragraph. This is just line item.
As if you're talking to your teenage daughter about things that you don't want the boyfriend to be, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want him to be
boyfriend
a chopper.
Cannot have a hair weave.
Boyfriend
no
cannot. Yeah, he's just.
You must be consistent.
Well, let me tell you, Duder, it's gonna be a solid foghorn there for you, brother. That guy. Come on. He's a big tugger. He's a big tugger guy. He's gonna back him up there. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a fun. I'm gonna go ahead and skip working at the not racist, but definitely specific to the person he wants to be there. And he didn't say. He gave no color, but he gave a lot of creed. Okay.
Non-racist, but very decisive on which race they want to work with.
I mean,
or which race they don't. Probably.
I mean, the hair was specific. That's like a thing, I guess. Smell was specific, but he didn't say race or and then no smelly, stinky hair, bad hair, poorly dressed people. I don't know. Anyways, it's fine.
It's tough if you don't have your own car. It's hard to get ahead.
Yeah, and it never made any sense to the can't take public transportation point.
When I show up on time, what does it matter how I got here?
But you took public transportation. But you took public transportation, so you can't.
Look, I got up at 5 a.m.
You can't work
to take the 6 a.m. bus.
You can't work
to get here by 8 a.m.
You can't. You must. You clear at your desk.
Yeah, doesn't work for me. Sorry. You
Sorry.
have your own.
Yeah.
Do I get a parking spot? If I got my own car, do I get a parking spot? Because that's not listed in the ad.
It would be nice if he would have been a little bit more specific about his parking and whatnot. All right. Well, Duder, I am going to take us now to the back room of the NFL draft pick of the number one pick, dude. I think you're going to be excited because we were able to get the. It seems like the door's locked. I think this is probably just a problem. It seems like we were going to. No, I think it is locked. Okay, you know what? Maybe we're gonna switch then. Maybe we're not gonna go to the number one pick. I think the number. What was his name of his? So he's got the special.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant is actually for some reason right across the hall. We'll see if he can let us in here. And no, looks like his door's locked too. Looks like we're not relevant enough to go to either. All right. Well, I tell you what, we'll stand like everybody else does at these draft picks and stand in the hallway. And hey, sir, you have a nice suit on. I saw you gave a speech earlier today. It was kind of long. It was impromptu, but Duder had a few questions that he had for you. I mean, obviously outfit banging, but other than that, Duder had a couple of questions. Duder, what was your question to the gentleman after his long speech today?
Mr. Ed Marinero, said that the Vikings were the second to last team he wanted to draft in. So I'm curious, who else is in that group of teams you did not want to draft in?
Interesting. I'm sorry, what? Dude, he just flipped you off and walked away. So
we're playing him off. He's
okay.
got his time's up.
Okay,
Time's
well,
up.
that's all we had for Mr. Marinero.
The producer came and told him his time.
Yeah, I guess we had to go. Well, it's been good standing in the hallway. Dude, a good show for you today?
It was a good show. Appreciate picking this up again.
Absolutely. Shout out against there to same team. Hope power came on for G out there. World peace is always a thing. Still fighting for it. Giving some shout out and love for world Ukraine out there. Hoping that ends soon. And we're gonna, what we're gonna do? We're gonna fact check a couple other wars. See if those will end soon too. Dude, any shout outs before we get out of here?
Shout out the world peace twerkers. Shout out all of the gay students in Florida.
Amen.
We love you guys.
Amen.
We don't care if you have your own car.
That's right.
We support you, guys and girls. Everybody, however you identify, we love you. And shout out to you guys, you people fighting the good fight. And I'm gonna get out of here before I step on my toes anymore.
Usually happens. All right, Dude and Debo, checking it out at a new time. We're going to see if this 3 o'clock works any better than 6 o'clock. Probably going to see you again, guys, 10 o'clock. Till next time, everybody, peace.